Good morning and welcome to Strength and Balance. My name is Hannah and I am a senior fitness instructor with Stonebridge Community Services. Today we're doing a full body strength routine. Some of our exercises that are more core specific will be performed on the ground. If you don't want to be on the floor, no problem. I will give you a seated or a standing option for those. We will be using a weight, just one weight today. I'm going to use this 12-pound set of dumbbells or just the one 12-pound dumbbell. You can use whatever size you feel is most appropriate for you. You can use no weights, or you could use some evenly weighted objects from around your house. You will need some kind of balance support for the balance part of the class. Wow, words are hard today. You'll also want to be close to a wall potentially for one of the core exercises if you are not going to be on the ground. And you'll need some water. The day I'm recording this, it's extremely warm. So keeping ourselves hydrated, and that's a good idea, whatever the weather, but especially if you're watching this during the summer. If you're not watching live and it's also summer, make sure you're hydrated. All right, let's go up to feet and let's do a little warm up here. Good, so standing up nice and tall, we're going to march on the spot. Let those arms move forwards and backwards, and lift those feet up nice and high. Good, let's take a nice deep breath. Big inhale. And exhale, lower down. Deep breath in. And out. And deep breath, reach up. Slowly lower down. Good. Let's pull those shoulders up towards our ears. Relax them down. Lift those shoulders. And lower. Pull the shoulders up. And down. Good. And let's roll our shoulders. Nice big circles. And let's roll those shoulders forwards. Good, let's take both hands. We're going to push away from your chest. Pull those hands back. Push and pull. Push and pull. Push and pull. Push and pull. Push those hands and pull back. And one more time. Push and pull. Good. Let's push those hands up to the ceiling and pull down. Push and pull. Let's push up. Pull down. Up and down. And again. Push up and pull down. Good. Let someone else in. Good. Let's tap those toes forwards. And we're marching those arms. Let's tap those toes to the sides. Good, let's take one foot, tap your toe and your heel. Toe and heel. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Switch to the other side, tap your toe and your heel, toe, and heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and again, toe, and heel. Good. Let's bring those feet together and tap our toes. And let's wiggle our fingers. Good, let's tap our heels and tap those fingers to your thumb. Good, tap both feet. Circle your wrists. And let's tap our heels and circle those wrists the other way. Good. Let's stand with those feet hip width apart and we'll circle our hips. Nice big circles. Move nice and slowly. Back in the other direction. Excellent. Good. You can pause here. We're going to pick up our one weight and we're going to do a squat holding this one weight. Let's hold that weight here at our chest. We're going to stand with our feet hip width apart, knees nice and soft, standing up tall. We're going to do 3 lower body exercises and we'll repeat them. 3 upper body, we'll repeat those, and then 2 core exercises and we'll repeat those. So let's start with the squat. Holding that weight in front of your chest, nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Inhale, sink into that squat. Exhale, push up to stand. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale to push up to stand. Good, chest is nice and tall. The weight is in your heels. Good, pause here. Pop the weight down. We're going to do a lunge now. We're not going to use any weights because we're going, well, you'll see the lunge is, it has a little bit extra to it. So I'm going to stand up nice and tall, feet together, feet hip width. I'm going to step 1 foot back into that reverse lunge, nice and slowly. As I stand up, I'm going to drive that knee forwards, place that foot on the floor. Then I'm going to alternate to the other side. So I'm going to step back into the lunge. As I stand up, knee lifts and foot goes to the floor. So let's begin that. Into that reverse lunge. Lift that knee, foot to the ground. Back and lift, foot to the floor. Reverse, drive that knee, foot down. Keep that chest nice and tall. Oh, we're moving slowly. Good. A little tricky for balance, so hold on if you need to. And let's do one more each side. Whoop. Oh, wow. Really bad balance. Good. Feet on the ground. Excellent. We'll work on a heel raise next. I'm not going to use any extra weight because I'm going to try and do a single leg heel raise. So I definitely want to be holding on to something for balance support here. I'm going to stand on my right foot to begin with, and I'm going to take my left foot slightly up off the floor. You can also have a toe touching the ground if you need that little bit more stability. Holding on for balance, we're going to push up onto that right toe or right toes and slowly lower down. So the right leg's working first. If you feel like this is too intense to do one leg at a time, of course, you can just do 1 foot at a time. Oh, sorry, you can do both feet at the same time if you feel like 1 foot is not right for you. Good, once more. Great, and let's switch the feet around, so standing on that left foot. And let's come up to tiptoe. Oops, slowly lower. Good, 2 more. Last one. Good. feet on the floor. Excellent. We're going to repeat all of those lower body exercises. I'm taking a drink again. Feel free to copy. So one weight for that squat. Holding that weight here at your chest. Feet are hip width apart. Standing up nice and tall. Let's inhale, sink into that squat. Exhale to push yourself back up. Good. Shoulders relaxed. Looking up and ahead. Last one. Good. Got the weight down. Hands not down. Not really doing what I was hoping. All right, standing up nice and tall. We are going to do that reverse lunge. Remember, we have that knee drive too. So I'm going to take a step back. Slowly bring that knee up. Place that foot down. I'm going to really concentrate on balance this time. Good. And that means taking your time. So I'm not rushing through the movement because I want to keep balance and in control all of the time. Good. Once more here, keep that chest tall. I looked to the camera and I lost my balance. Good, feet on the floor, excellent. Let's have a go at those heel raises again. A single leg if that's appropriate for you. Both feet on the floor if that feels better. If you're doing that single leg, you'll want to be close to something to help you with your balance. So I'm going to stand on my right leg, left foot just a tiny bit off the floor, or you can have a toe touching the floor too. Let's push up, slowly lower, good. Great, once more on this foot. Oops, switch to the other side if you're doing them one leg. Chest nice and tall. Slowly lowering that heel. Last one. Excellent. And feet on the floor. Good. We're going to move on to work on our upper body. We're just going to use one weight. It's nice to take these exercises down a little bit sometimes, so a little bit less intense. That actually helps your body to adapt to the harder training you've been doing, taking that easier week. So using just the one weight, and especially on a day like this where it's really hot, making this workout a little bit less intense. So I'm just going to hold my one weight here. I'm holding it at the ends. My feet are hip width apart. My knees are soft. I'm going to do a bicep curl and press overhead. And then I'm going to slowly lower that weight down, just like that. So let's stand up nice and tall. Shoulders are relaxed. I'm going to curl and press. And then slowly lower that weight down. Good. Curl and press. We want to think about breathing out as we push that weight overhead. Good, standing up nice and tall. Great, 2 more. And last one here, curl and press and slowly lower. Excellent. We're going to keep hold of the one weight now. We're going to do a bent over row. So again, I'm holding the weight in both hands at the ends. My knees are soft and I'm going to hinge over at the hip a little bit. So now I'm at a small incline. I have a nice flat back. You can see from my tailbone to my head is more or less a straight line. I'm not rolling at the shoulders, my shoulders back. Holding that weight in front of me, I'm going to row that one weight back. So elbows back past my body, lifting this weight up towards my chest, squeezing through the shoulders. Good. Let's make sure the knees are soft. Once more. Good. Stand up slowly here. Someone's trying to come back in. Good. And then we have one more here with the single weight. Again, standing up nice and tall, knees nice and soft, shoulders relaxed, looking up. We're going to take our one weight and we're going to lift in front of us. And then slowly lower. So lift and lower. Breathing out as you lift up, breathing in as you lower down. Good, couple more. Let's do the last one. Excellent. Put the weight down for a moment here. Time to grab a drink. And then we'll repeat those 3 exercises one more time. So we're using that single weight. Good, holding the weight at the ends. My knees are soft. Standing up nice and tall. I'm starting with that curl and press. So that bicep curl and that press overhead using the one weight in front of me. Here we go. I'm going to pick those weights, that weight up to my shoulders. Push up overhead. Slowly on the way down. Curl and press. Good. Curl and press. Excellent. We really want to lower slowly. So take your time on the way down. Two more. Last one here. Good, excellent. Next, I'm going to work on that bent over row. So my feet are hip width, my knees are soft. I'm going to hinge forward at the hip just a little bit. Think about that flat back. Lift that weight up towards your chest. Squeeze through your shoulders, elbows back past your body. Deep breaths, breathing out as we lift. Couple more. Excellent, and slowly up we come. Good, one more with a single weight here. We're doing those front raises. So again, holding the weight at the ends, lift those arms, slowly lower. Good. Breathing out and breathing in as we lower down. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. That can be tricky here. You want to lift your shoulders. Good, once more. Excellent. We can pop the weight down. Very good. Just need to fill my water. Alrighty, a couple on the ground now. I will give you a non-ground option. So the first one we're going to do is a dead bug, and you will be seated if you're not on the floor. So on our chair, we're sitting forward in our chair. We're going to stretch one leg, and we're going to lift the one leg and the opposite arms, and then you'll alternate. One leg and opposite arms. Stretch. Lift the one leg, opposite arm, and the other side. So that's your dead bug, and that's a seated exercise. The next one we'll be doing on the floor is a plank. If you don't want to be on the ground, you are going to be at the wall. So arms out in front of you, about shoulder height. Take a step back so your feet are further away than your head, and hold in this incline position. Think about pulling your muscles, of your core muscles, engage them. So pull your belly button in towards your spine there, and take deep breaths. So those are your two. If you do not want to be on the floor, if you want to be on the floor, we will do a floor version of both. So let's calm it down. We're going to step one foot forward, bend that front knee, lift the back heel, hinge at the hip, hands on either side of that front foot. Come it down to all fours. I'm going to come onto my, sit on my sides, feet out. And let's come down to the ground. I just have to adjust my mat actually, because I'm going to hit the. Great, so arms up and knees bent, with feet in the air. I'm going to lower hand and opposite arm. So if you're on your chair, you're doing the same, lifting leg and opposite arm. So let's go ahead here. This isn't one that we want to rush. Just taking our time. Good, nice and slow. One more each side. Good, and let's relax. Feet to the floor. Plank is next. So if you're not on the ground, you're going to stand up and use the wall for your plank. Otherwise, you're going to roll onto your side. And we're going to come up, we're going to do a kneeling plank. So I'm on hands and knees. I'm going to walk my feet away a little bit, walk my hands out. So now let me turn so you've got it. Good. I'm kneeling, so leaning forward into this kneeling plank. My feet are off the floor. You can't see them, but you can keep your feet on the floor for more support if you need to. So you want to think about a straight line from tailbone to the top of your head here. My hands are directly underneath my shoulders. I'm going to hold here for 30 seconds. Take nice deep breaths. Think about engaging those core muscles. Pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Good, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Excellent. We're going to repeat that plank here again right away to avoid us having to get onto our back and onto our front or standing up and sitting down too many times. Let's just go ahead and repeat this plank here. So standing or on the ground, let's come forwards into that plank and hold. Nice deep breaths. Good. Pull that belly button in towards your spine. Five more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And time for that dead bug again. So if you're on the ground, you're going to roll your way onto your back. And if you're up on your feet, you can sit down. Good. Arms up to the ceiling and feet up in the air, knees bent. We're going to do opposite hand, opposite. Inhale as you lower. Exhale back to center. Good, nice and slowly. Once more each side. Good. And relax. Great. On the floor, let's roll over to our side. Push yourself up nice and slowly. Let's come onto hands and knees. I'm going to bring one foot forward. Slowly sit up, so I'm in this half kneeling position. Let's push up to stand. Good. All right, excellent. Have a drink. Time for our balance. So let's make sure we are within an arm's reach of some kind of support furniture, chair or table. I always use the wall, just for safety and support here. So we're going to start with our feet really close to each other. Knees are nice and soft and I'm standing tall. My arms are relaxed at my sides. I'm going to bring my arms to the front and turn my palms up and then down. Up and down. Palms up and down. Just turn the left one up and then down, and the right one up. And then down, right one up, keep the left one down, and then turn both of them over. So they should be doing opposite things. Good, let's relax those arms. And we're going to stand feet are hip width. We're going to move a little bit here. I'm going to bring my arms out to the side. I'm going to take a step to the side and then bring the other knee up. And we'll hold here for a moment. Step that foot down, other knee. So stepping to the side, lifting that other knee and hold for a moment on the one foot. Try not to do that. The higher you lift the knee, the more challenging that is. So you want to adjust kind of accordingly. Good. Pausing for a moment with the one foot lifted. Good, and feet on the floor, arms relaxed. Let's stand with our feet really close to each other. And we're going to tap our toes to the numbers on the clock. Let's do this together. Let's start with 12. And then 1. And now 2. Out to 3. And 4. 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. 10. And 11. And then 12 again. Good. I'll pull out some numbers. Let's start with 2. And 8. 4. And 10. Then 12. And 6 for the other foot. And 7. And 9. And 3. And 5. 11. And 1. And then 7. And 10. 4. 8. And 2. Excellent. Good. You can pause that there. Good. We're going to push ourselves up onto our tiptoes. Hold for a moment. Lower down. And then lift your toes so you're on your heels. Up onto tiptoes. Lower and lift your toes. So tiptoes. And then heels. Keep the knees nice and soft. The higher you try and lift your toes, the more challenging I find that. So I might just want to keep those toes not too far off the floor. Good, a couple more. Excellent, feet on the ground, very good. We're going to stand with 1 foot forward. So let's stand on our right leg. Let's tap that left heel forwards. We're going to look forwards and find a spot that isn't moving. Find something to focus your eyes here. I'm going to lift that heel just a little bit. And then reach your 1 hand forwards. Yeah, we'll take the 2nd hand forwards and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then switch to the other side. So it's only my left foot. I'm going to tap that right heel forwards. I'm going to lift that right heel. Finding something to look at that isn't moving. And let's lift 1 hand forwards. And the 2nd hand. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Let's bring those arms out in a Y shape. We're going to stand on our left foot, raise the right, and let's circle this ankle here. Back in the other direction. Good, let's switch to the other side. Standing on the right foot, lift the left. Circle that ankle. And the other way. Good, and feet on the floor, excellent. Let's do a little bit on 1 foot again. I'm going to stand on my right foot, raise the left, knee is nice and soft, looking forwards, finding something that isn't moving. Focus my eyes on here. Good, let's turn and look to the left. And right. Back to center, and let's switch. Starting on the left foot, let's raise the right. We're looking forwards. We're going to turn and look to the left. And to the right. Good, and back to center. Let's place that foot on the floor. Excellent. Time for us to stretch now. So let's take an arm across our body and let's hold here. Feel a nice stretch. Go through your upper arm and your shoulder. Good, let's switch to the other side. Good, relax that arm. Let's link our fingers and let's push those hands away. Good, relax those arms. Let's have a seat now. Good. We're going to sit in the middle of our chair. Let's walk our feet out wide. We're going to take our right hand up to the ceiling and let's hinge at the hip over to the left. Feel that nice stretch along the side of your body. Let's sit up, relax that arm, and let's switch to the other side. Reach up, hinge forward up. Back to center. Let's bring those feet together. You're going to sit up nice and tall, sit right back in your chair, and bring your chin towards your chest. Here we can look up. Let's bring your ear to your shoulder. And the other way. Good. Look back to center. Let's take your chin to your shoulder. in the other direction. Chin to shoulder. There, and back to me. Let's come up to feet. We're going to arms behind us. Reach for the back of the room. Stretch his fingers right out. Take a deep breath in. And then let's exhale. Wrap those arms around you. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. And pat on the back. Thank you everybody for joining me. Stay cool today. Keep yourselves hydrated. I will see you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I found some new muscles today.
Oh, very good. Bye, guys.